All right, let's try this again. I see myself this time, so that is an improvement compared to the last one. Just wanted to do another live chat since I enjoyed it last time. Gonna do a little breakfast as well. These are some Methley plums from Fruit Tree, a little food forest we have at my dad's place. Hello. Let's see if I can pronounce your handle correctly. Imuga? Imuga? Is that closer? Hello to you as well. Wow. Look at the color of this plum. Oh, Status Quo is live streaming outside of AOC's office. First time I was right. Okay. Imugi. That's awesome. I wonder if they're going to be able to have an interview with her or chat with her for a little bit. Oh, sure. These are absolutely incredible. Superfoods are homegrown. Yeah, because there's a protest happening. What is this around, like, just trying to push her, like, to actually fight for these things, or is it, what's the context? These are so good. Okay. Like, in particular, is this about, like, her not talking about or campaigning about those Medicare for All events that happen at all? Medicare for All, yeah. I mean, kind of like, not the first one to say it, but the Democratic Party is where, social movements go to die, more or less. So good. So I just wanted to do a little breakfast chat here. So good. Like, fruit is such an amazing way to start the day. So just a couple of things I've been thinking about, some good, some bad. So due to the embargo that's happening on Cuba right now, Mexico has obviously called that out, condemned it, along with the other 183 countries at the UN who voted recently that the US should end this embargo blockade against Cuba. Obviously should. And as a result of that, this blockade makes it very difficult for, Cuba to be able to, they can't do business with anybody in the US, and as well as businesses outside the US, they are sanctioned if they do any type of business with Cuba. But, Mexico, AMLO in particular, the president, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, I believe, AMLO, is sending 2 ships to Cuba full of food, medical supplies, syringes, that type of thing. So that's awesome. He's, going against the U.S. empire in this instance. So that's awesome. Kudos to Mexico for doing that. And again, always solidarity with the people of Cuba as they try to protect, the socialist revolution that came about in 1959, which overthrew the U.S.-backed Batista dictatorship there. And, the U.S. has been trying to overthrow them since that time, unfortunately, and continues to do so, and even ramping up, sanctions compared to what happened under Trump, which is, pretty disgusting. I wouldn't necessarily say surprising, but still really, fucked up to begin with, that the Biden administration is to the right of Trump on Cuba. So that is a good thing. Mexico sending those 2 ships full of supplies to Cuba. Awesome. Yeah. So that's a good thing. And then the Biden administration is also trying to, or is in the process of trying to persecute Daniel Hill, this drone whistleblower, who exposed these extrajudicial kind of assassination programs that these military-industrial complex is running through these drones, which can have up to a 90% civilian death rate. 90%. And so again, just like with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, who have exposed the crimes of the U.S. empire instead of the actual, the empire addressing those crimes, those war crimes that were and have been committed. They're going after actually the people who exposed it, whether it be Daniel Hill, Julian Assange, Reality Winter, Daniel Kiraku, etc. So obviously that Mexico story is a positive thing. Daniel Hill thing, not so much. Also saw that the empire, the military-industrial complex, the death machine. I don't know if it was the Senate or the Congress voted to give them $25 billion more dollars. When was it? To end homelessness in the U.S., it would cost about roughly that same amount. And again, the United States already spends more on its military, on bombs and destruction than any other country in the world. I think it spends close to the next 10 countries combined, actually. So that's obviously not good. We don't need that. Then the United States has also been, I saw a story recently, accused of violating the airspace of Venezuela, another huge provocation towards that country. And then you have Ben and Jerry's, doing the right thing in this case, deciding not to do any business, not to sell any more of their ice cream or ice cream related products on the, occupied territories, in Palestine. Obviously the right decision that they made there, and all of these, Zionists are freaking out over it, saying it's, you're supporting, anti-Semitism and all of these crazy, ridiculous claims for, Ben and Jerry's in this case just being on the right side of history. So kudos to Ben and Jerry's for doing that. It's obviously the bare minimum that a corporation like that can do with regards to the Palestinian issue and the continued apartheid regime that Israel is and continues to be. And then we have the 42nd anniversary of the Sandinista revolution, the workers revolution, the working class revolution, the socialist revolution in Nicaragua that was celebrated just a couple of days ago. There's a good article on the Gray Zone website by Ben Norton talking about this. He has lived there or does live there from kind of on and off or something, but he actually went there. I believe he is also a fluent Spanish speaker as well. Look at the color of that plum. Umagi, what did you have for breakfast today if you've had it before? But back to the 42nd anniversary of the Sandinista revolution in Nicaragua. Good piece on the Gray Zone by Ben Norton about that topic. There was these nice mukbang, these kind of more corporate Spanish mainstream media accounts trying to basically say there's, nobody in the street celebrating this, 42nd revolution of the Sandinistas in Nicaragua. But then, Ben Norton was actually down there. The, actions, these events seem, to have quite a bit of support, a lot of support for the Sandinista National Liberation Front, the FSLN in Nicaragua. I mean, again, this is a case of another country is constantly vilified by the U.S. The U.S. has tried to, obviously overthrow the Sandinista government a number of times. 2018, they tried to, support the right-wing coup attempt in Nicaragua. It was obviously unsuccessful. Nicaragua, much like Cuba, has free universal health care, free higher education. They have a very high rate of gender equality in government. It's basically 50-50 there, which is awesome. Highly subsidized public housing. And so since 2007, the Sandinista government have given the people there 500,000 or so deeds to properties, given people deeds to these houses, to these properties. 500,000 since 2007 out of a population of like 6 million. Like, how awesome is that? All the while, these U.S. regime change attempts there, continue to try to ratchet up pressure in that way. And yet they're still able to provide universal health care, free higher education, and giving out 500,000 houses to people. Like, that is just so amazing what they've been able to accomplish, while the U.S. empire has tried to, strangle out the, socialist government there that actually looks out for the well-being of the, working people. Oh, bagel, sandwich, and coffee. Nice. What kind of bagel sandwich? And just like straight coffee with sugar, mukbang. Yep, eating a little. Eating some plums from food forest on my dad's property, which just a bunch of fruit trees we started planting several years ago. We have a greenhouse, some annual vegetable beds. Actually, eating this makes me think of Nicaragua a little bit. They're one of the few countries on the planet, and I think that kind of region of the world, 100% food independent, meaning they grow all of the food in Nicaragua that they need to feed the people there. How awesome is that? And, again, it's kind of the only socialist country in that area, and it's the one that has the highest quality of life, the highest, protections placed on the working people there. Everybody has access to higher education, as well as healthcare. And they're giving out, houses, and this is what the U.S. wants to try to stop. They obviously don't want, people abroad to have universal health care. We don't have that in the United States. They don't want other countries to have universal higher education. We don't have that in the United States, but they have it in Cuba. They have it in Nicaragua. Messed up. So good. So good. Toasted bagel with cheese, fried egg, lettuce. Nice. Wow. These plums are so good. There's one place I would like to visit would be, because hopefully we'll be taking a trip with the fam next spring, summer, and I really want to go to a country that has, always kind of demonized and blamed in the U.S. corporate media, and really see what life is actually like there. Talk to, some actual working class people there to see what they think, of their government, of the U.S., etc. So some of the places I was thinking about be Nicaragua. Cuba, I think, would be really amazing, or China as well. I think those places would have a lot to offer. China is obviously a huge, massive country. It'd be a lot, different places to potentially visit. Sounds like they also have really amazing public transportation system. So in the US, like the best we can do is like Amtrak that goes like 60 miles an hour, and it's just, like this real clunker train. And they have these bullet trains in China. I think they go up to like 300k an hour, so almost 200 miles an hour. And then, Cuba, I think, would be really amazing just to see, socialist government there still standing, still very strong, even though this multi-long, economic war has been waged upon them by the U.S. empire, because we don't like that there's actually, a socialist government there looking out for the needs of the people. And then Nicaragua would also be really cool because, again, the Sandinista government, constantly vilified by the U.S. media. Because dehydrated too. And some cheese. Nice. So juicy. And it's just really cool being able to eat food, you know exactly where it came from. Yeah, I've never been a super big fan of coffee. I don't know. I'm phone buzzing. I don't know why I get notifications on my phone from the Wall Street Journal. Frankly, pretty annoying. I think the Wall Street Journal is just more capitalist, imperialist trash. Is there a way to like screen share on the live stream? It was me. What was that you? I can share the link. That's cool. I have my Twitter in here. I'd share it to that, but I don't. Only log into that through my phone. Same with Facebook. I'm not sure what that is. What else I got? Share it on my Tumblr. Don't have one of those. So good. This is a Methley plum. By far and away the most prolific fruit tree in terms of how much fruit it produces at our food forest. Literally the last 3 years in a row, the branches have broken on it because there's like just so much fruit weighing it down. Just end up like snapping in half. It's almost too happy. Gonna finish this. Maybe I'll make some videos for YouTube. But I want to do another live stream because I had fun doing that Saturday night. And it got a decent amount of views, at least for in the context of my channel. Maybe I'll schedule one in the future, like, and that might make it, a little easier to get more people to jump on. And then gonna go on a little bike ride, and then go back to the blueberry patch with my partner. Hopefully pick 2 of those buckets full. You could see a little video I made yesterday about that. Pick a couple of buckets. It'll be about 8-ish pounds, almost 2 gallons to add to the freezer for future use for things like smoothies, oatmeal, even vegan blueberry cheesecake. So good. Slowly working my way through this bowl. Like, you can just tell, like, so much life and vibrancy. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Something else I've been thinking about a little bit recently is talk to some people on the left will say that we need to kind of slow down consumption, not use as much of the Earth's resources, stuff like that, especially in the West, especially in the United States, because we're just so wasteful. And I think if like the globe consumed things at a rate that the US did, then we would need like 7 or 9 planet Earths to meet that need. And then I've heard other people talk about, Marxism, scientific socialism is all about creating a world that has so much abundance that everybody just has, basically everything that they would ever want and need in life. And I wonder, is there a way to square both of those with each other, or is it, are those on kind of opposite, spectrums of the left? I was kind of curious about that. And I mean, obviously I don't it's completely, right wing and like kind of eugenicsy for people that talk about, population's too big. No, it has nothing to do with the fucking population. The Earth has way more than enough carrying capacity to support the number of people we have now and support it well. It's how are these, resources being distributed? Not very evenly, obviously. Capitalism. Partner just sent me a picture of some bananas. Are you interested? I say if they're not all smashed up, it kind of looks like they might be. They are not snagged, no, smashed. They are not smashed. So my second meal after the bike ride will probably be a nice smoothie. I have some ripe bananas, frozen bananas, more flavor. Frozen kale from the garden, soy milk for flavor, consistency, vitamins, nutrients. What else? Hemp seeds. So good, man. So good. Got one person back on. How do you tell who is in? Does it tell you? Just me, I think. I mean, it is pretty cool. Like technology, you can just go live and potentially talk to anywhere in the globe that also has access to this technology. Guard your privacy. Definitely very much looking forward to having a break from school. I'm in grad school right now. And the program I am in, it's classes year round, which really blows. So I'm about 5 more weeks. Summer quarter will be done, and there's a month-long break. Definitely really looking forward to that, just to have some time to not focus on school or group assignments or readings or any of that fun stuff. And then 3 more quarters and be done with school for a while. I guess maybe 1:23 my time on the West Coast here, West Coast time zone. Maybe not the best time to stream. Maybe after like 5 or something. I think I'm doing another one of these maybe Wednesday night at like 8 or 9 something. Because the one I did on Saturday, I think I started at like 9 or something, and I did pretty decent. At least I felt like it did. Yeah, so this would be considered a mono meal of fruit because I'm eating one fruit, in this case plums. Plums aren't my favorite fruit by any stretch, but like homegrown plums are just this sweet and juicy, like pretty damn good. And they're free, organic, very local. Favorite fruit that we have at the food forest that we grow, for me, would probably have to be figs. Like, oh my God, I'll have to do a little mukbang when those are ripe. But biting into it, like a fresh fig, that's just, oh my God, like literally fucking live on those things. So fucking good. Yeah, we were spending some time with my infant nephew yesterday. We took him out to the garden. He really, really loves these things. Can't blame him. Just look at that. So fresh figs from the garden, really hard to beat. Asian pears as well. And then these might be like third as far as fruit trees go. Well, they're really good. So good. mean, think about like if everybody just grew a little bit of their own food, how many problems we would work towards solving. And obviously, there's always, systemic things that kind of prevent or don't allow people from doing that, like having, the time or the resources, or the space to be able to, grow food. But there are ways to do it if you don't have a lot of space. So we have a very small backyard here. We can't necessarily plant anything in the ground. So we have stuff in pots and containers that it can move. So we're growing, zucchinis in pots. Those are doing really good. Carrots in these grow bags, tomatoes, potatoes, lettuce. So a lot of different ways to grow food. You just got to find the way or ways that work for your particular setting and just experiment. It's not really that difficult or challenging. At least I haven't found it to be, frankly. Really worthwhile endeavor. And if you can't, or, if you don't want to or not willing to, have access to your own fruit trees, there's so many fruit trees out in the world, whether it be at parks or people's yards or, hanging up over people's like fences that you can, access yourself. Just go and ask, hey, can I pick some of the fruit from this fruit tree? I'll give you some, whatever. A lot of fruit and food in general just goes to waste. Could also get into a little bit of guerrilla gardening with fruit trees or annuals or both, where guerrilla gardening is you just go plant food wherever it makes sense. Like that's in like the median dividing strips, down the middle of a road, or what do they call those little things on like little strips on the sidewalks? Go do some guerrilla gardening. That shit's really fun. Done that a little bit in the past. The tree ended up dying, but it still was a fun experience. And something that more places really need is community food forest. Seattle has the Beacon Hill Food Forest in the Beacon Hill neighborhood, which, as the name says, it's a food forest, Beacon Hill neighborhood of Seattle that's completely open to public. Walk through it, grab anything you want. We also have raised beds there, these pea patch beds for the community. Just really cool. I feel like every place needs that. It was just a sloped hillside of a grass field before. Now it's filled with fruit trees, nut trees, berry bushes, plants that build the soil, plants that attract butterflies and bees and all kinds of things, and so much diversity in life. And it feeds people and it looks awesome. Like every place needs a food forest or something similar. Eat enough of these, they definitely start to fill you up. For sure. And I did not sleep super good last night, but I was able to go back to bed. I'm super thankful for. It's a person that requires at least, their 8 hours, or a little bit grouchy, I think. All right, there's a couple more ripe ones. You can tell like the darker going to be sweeter and the riper. So this one's could be a little riper. Oh man. Still really good though. Like the best ones out of these, probably get a 8 out of 10 for flavor. It's pretty damn good. Well, this would be the last one. Almost looks like it has like a little butt crack on it. Last night I just started reading Bread Tube Serves Imperialism by Caleb Maupin. Pretty interesting so far. I got through about 30 pages. I think it's about a little bit under 200. So keep reading that, and then do a complete review of the book. And it'd be cool to see if I could get him on the channel for an interview to talk about it. This is the last fairly ripe one. Until it gets a little darker than that last one I showed you. Sweeter. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here. This was fun, even though I didn't get as many people join as that first one I did. It's okay. I still enjoyed it. And this fruit was delicious. It's fun. Fun little breakfast chat. Like the video. Subscribe for more content. All power to the people. Peace. Much love. See you again. If you made it this far, which good on you if you did, let me know what would be some good times to have like a regular live stream on this channel that you'd want to check out. Peace.